Hello Indie Game fan, there are some really gorgeous games in this edition of new trailers, so let's begin with Protodroid DeLTA, a 3D action platformer that looks kind of neat, but we don't get many such titles these days, where the platforming in particular does look good. I'm not too sold on the visuals, but this title was successfully funded on Kickstarter, with the developer providing steady updates to backers and is an example of a Kickstarter campaign done right, so look out for this when it releases next month. This video is brought to you by Piratopia Raiders of Pirate Bay, a promising open-world sandbox pirate sailing game that is an expanded version of a free game named Piratopia, which you can find on Steam. It's a multiplayer title for up to 128 players, set in your own standalone server with its own procedurally generated world, where interestingly, there are cross-server events such as raids, auctions, and PvP. Evidently, from the art and the theme, this is inspired by One Piece, which is awesome, so to get a video game alternative is nice, where you recruit various crew members which then adds their abilities to your ship. It has a world in which a powerful pirate has left pages of his journal scattered through the world, detailing the locations of 7 lost monuments with the ability to grant riches and mastery of the ocean, so it's a treasure hunt much in the same way One Piece is, with a colourful and vibrant art style to match. This is currently on Kickstarter seeking funding, so hop on over via the link in the description below and support them if you like the game. If you enjoyed the co-op bank heist aspect of Payday, I'm pretty sure that Filthy Animals Heist Simulator will be of interest, one which self-describes as a chaotic chaos multiplayer heist game where you and your friends work together to steal stuff and rob banks. Floppy co-op multiplayer games like Gang Beasts are always fun, so when you add in the mission-based structure of a heist, you have a recipe for success, where I do wonder if you can betray your companions for a larger share of the pie, or if it is more cooperative, notwithstanding friendly fire. The number and variety of missions, as well as any progression systems will be of interest as well, but it looks like an awesome title with friends.
Get ready for the Newtonian flow! Let me show you how it's done. Let's go!
Speaking of friends, we did get more gameplay of Friends vs Friends as well, a multiplayer first-person shooter that adds in a deck-building element. Think of this as neon white but competitive and you might get some idea, although I can also see how the cards aspect will turn some people off, but I do like the cel-shaded, almost Borderlands style visuals here. If you're Singaporean, do drop a Singapore flag emoji in the comments, where I'm sure that the opening seconds of this trailer will get you, showcasing one of the hallmarks of olden day Singapore, but for the rest of you, PECK'EM Bird Brawlers will still be of interest, being a chaotically casual multiplayer 3D arena fighting game that features pigeons. Indeed, it is from a Singaporean developer and has 4 playable characters, each having unique abilities, supporting both 1v1 and 2v2 modes as you battle for supremacy.
The Dark Majesty has vanished. His infernal throne lies vacant. All that stands between you and eternal power is hell itself.
Another game which was hyped at reveal is Solium Infernum, a grand strategy title set in the depths of hell, where you play as an arch-fiend as you plot your way to the throne, where after a largely cinematic reveal trailer initially, this developer has shown off more gameplay, where it's as grim and drab as you would expect hell to be, only without the stereotypical lava everywhere, coming to us from the developer of Armello, which is a great pedigree.
A shadow falls over the land of reverie. Terror grips its inhabitants' minds. Their dreams fading to nightmare. The Ravens are Reveries' last bastion of hope. They protect the dead and the living. In desperate times, they enlist the aid of mortals.
Another title which I'm excited about is Ravenswatch, since it comes to us from the developer of Curse of the Dead Gods, which is awesome, where it appears that the developers are largely sticking to the same art style but changing the theme and setting, where instead of diving into ancient cursed temples, they are now drawing upon classic characters from myths and legends, including characters like Little Red Riding Hood, the Pied Piper, Aladdin, Beowulf and more.
You thought you could help, Reverie. So much hope, and so much disappointment. Even a blown-out candle can still burn a scroll.
It's still a roguelite and has that same fantastic visual style, but this releases in early access next month and should be great.
Who am I to tell how this tale ends? Who am I to guess the design of the Ravenswatch?
I loved MapleStory in my teens and played countless hours of that, so of course Nether Garden got my attention since it looks very similar, being a 2D action platformer RPG where you adventure across the world and defeat monsters. There's loot, crafting, leveling, upgrading and more, but most curiously, it is supposed to be a single player game, at least initially, since the developers want to nail that experience before looking at the more MMO nature of such a game. It is currently on Kickstarter and has already been fully funded, but check out their campaign for stretch goals and rewards. I have put some juicy games in the top 3, one of which is Hibernaculum, an intense-looking survival horror RPG with a fantastic pixel art look, being a first-person dungeon crawler similar to games like Legend of Grimrock, which, back in 2012, did bring about a new wave of such games which has since slowed, but this game looks to bring it back, coming to us from the developer of the point-and-click adventure game Primordia, so it's interesting to see the change of genres. One good thing about being flexible in my videos is that I can react to new announcements and releases, where of course I have to share this fantastic pixel art tactics title. It is the sequel to a game from 2019 which I adore, where the sequel does look visually similar in many ways and is a direct continuation of the story of the first game. I do spot some returning characters and factions, but do expect a few new ones as well, where they are adding a roguelike mode for maximum replayability, as well as a new groove system for your commander's special abilities, which makes Wargroove 2 of interest, where you can find more upcoming tactics titles in this video.